Hello, guys. How is everyone? Hopefully everyone is doing great. Right now, guys, I'm not really doing anything special tonight. Just a quick video on um, some movies that came out in 4K that a lot of people probably don't even realize have been released in 4K. They're not very common titles. They're a little bit more obscure. Some of them are even from overseas, like just UK versions and possibly German titles of these movies. Anyways, like I said, they're a little bit more obscure, but they're fun to look at and see. They're all great movies. They're all great titles. Some of them I hadn't even seen before I ended up picking them up, and I'd heard about them, so I decided to go ahead and get them since they were in 4K. Me being a sucker for 4K quality. So, anyways, some of the ones we'll start with it. Pretty much everybody probably knows these feature films, but probably didn't realize they had a 4K release already. So here is the John Carpenter set, and there's The Fog. There's They Live, Prince of Darkness. I'm running out of room. I'll just show you those three at first. So these are all great titles, guys. John Carpenter did a great job. One of the masters of horror. But really good movie right here. The Fog has Jamie Lee Curtis in it. They Live has Rodney Piper, great wrestler back in the day. And then of course there's Prince of Darkness. Don't really know the cast too well in this one, but anyways, really good titles. Great views. If you had a chance, definitely check them out. Most people, if you know John Carpenter at all, you probably heard of these films. But these were only released in the UK as of right now. Now, I know here, I think it's maybe January. Anyways, here in the fall, there's going to be a U.S. release of They Live in 4K and also a U.S. release of Prince of Darkness. So there's those three. And I've got one more to add to the mix. Escape from New York, which is a great Kurt Russell film. Back in the, I think, early 80s for that one. But another one was John Carpenter movies. Again, just a UK version of it. Haven't heard of a US release for that one or The Fog yet. I would love to see them release a 4K version of The Thing. I think that would be phenomenal. But there's those four right there. Really good John Carpenter movies. A couple other ones I have for you. Now, these are done by Blue Underground. These came out, these were US releases, but they came out kind of more obscure titles. They came out, a couple months ago, I guess. Pretty good titles. They're very B-rated horror movies, but I think they're great. I mean, they're very, they're along the lines of having the over-the-top graphic, bloody kills and just the over-the-top gore, so to say. Great movies, though. Zombie right here, and then Maniac. Again, those are the only two that I own. They've come out with some other Blue Underground titles. I just haven't picked those up yet, so I'm thinking about maybe, snagging a couple more of those here pretty soon. I think New York Ripper came out, House by the Cemetery. A couple other ones are coming up in the near future as well. But yeah, those are awesome. I've got Zombie, which is Dawn of the Dead, UK version of the movie. Again, it was just released. So it's like a 5-disc set, but really all I wanted it for was the 4K disc, since the 4K disc will pretty much play in any 4K player out there. But yeah, it's awesome. It's basically just they called it, I think, Zombie Overseas, but it's Dawn of the Dead movie, the 1978 or somewhere around there version. Really cool, really awesome movie. Again, one of those kind of over the top gore, special effects and whatnot. But a great view. If you have time, definitely check that one out. But again, this one it's a UK release, I think, exclusively. So I haven't heard or seen anything but a US release for that one. This one's also one that a lot of people don't know about. It came out in 4K. Angel Heart. It's got Robert De Niro and Mickey Rourke in it. Early Mickey Rourke. So the things from from the 80s, I believe. Good movie. It's different. I kind of classify it horror or like suspense, whatnot. But it was a pretty good title. Definitely worth a viewing. Also, as you see here, it's also like a foreign release. It's overseas, so we didn't get this one here in the United States. But good title as well. Okay, this one's very weird. This one's called Darlin'. I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with that one. It's part of a trilogy, I believe. I just picked this one up because this is the only one they had in 4K. It's got a beautiful steelbook case as well. And I did watch the movie. Very strange flick, but I did enjoy it. But it's very odd, and maybe it's partly odd because I haven't seen any of the other parts. I think there's 2 other movies, if I'm not mistaken, that are, again, part of this trilogy here. But I primarily saw it as, again, it's a foreign movie. I saw the case. I was very impressed by the way the steelbook looked. It's very beautiful, inside and out. Yeah, that's a good one. Here is a couple of, well, I'll just do this one first, but Neon Demon. That one is a great movie in 4K. Again, this is a foreign release only. Beautiful release though. Like the quality of the 4K presentation is just phenomenal. The colors, I don't know how else to describe it. Just very vibrant, very beautiful colors. Again, really good title. It's one of those. It's a horror movie somewhat, but it's more subtle, I guess you call it. It's different style of horror. It's really about models and how hard it is to be a model, how hard it is to be in that industry, so to say. But there's a lot of other twists and turns that go along with it. But it even has an appearance by Keanu Reeves. He's in there for a short time. So but it's a pretty good movie. Can't complain too much about that one. And here is a classic. Again, this is just I think it's a German release, if I'm not mistaken. But I know it's not American. So, but anyways, this is, of course, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Great movie. It is, like I said, a 4K quality disc, but it's very grainy, very dirty. But I think it's primarily just because that's how that movie was kind of intended to be. So even though it's presented in 4K and it does definitely look better, it's probably the best it's ever looked. It still has that kind of grainy and very very dark look about it. It's pretty awesome. I mean, surely you guys have seen this one. Again, it's kind of a horror classic. And I wasn't expecting to see a 4K copy of it, but as soon as I did, though, I knew I had to have it. So there's the back side of that one as well. But again, give that one a view if you haven't already. But if you're fans of horror movies, you probably have seen that one already. Got about 3 more to go. Suspiria. It's a pretty good movie. This is the original. There was one that came out, I think, a couple years ago, 2018. It's pretty good. It's a little bit different take. It's also a horror movie. It's also got kind of that over-the-top kind of gore and stuff in it. But I really enjoyed it. It was worth a good viewing. So it's worth it. Take a couple hours of your day and check it out. It's a very, very, very unique title. This one's going to be kind of silly. So there's a movie called Tammy and the TRex from the early 90s. It has Denise Richards and Paul Walker in it, believe it or not. It's a really cheesy kind of just fun movie. Like I said, it's also one of those that's over the top kind of gore. But it's hard to explain. But basically, Paul Walker's character ends up being put into this robot dinosaur. Like his consciousness or his brain, I think, is actually in it. So yeah, basically he's that's what it's about. Paul Walker's kind of Denise Richards' boyfriend, and he ends up being put inside this dinosaur because he gets killed, and it goes right from there. It's a very odd story, but it's fun to watch. It's very interesting. I wish I'd gotten the original. This is the Vinegar Syndrome. It's who puts it out. I wish I'd gotten the original copy when they first released them because it had an actual really cool kind of lenticular cover. So it had you could move it and the characters and stuff would move a little bit on there. Very nice cover, but I ended up getting this one, which is fine. Again, the movie's really cool. It's fun just for a good laugh and obviously not to be taken serious, but it was pretty interesting. And then the last one I have for you guys. Easy Rider. So that's also kind of an American classic film. It's got who's it got? Dennis Hopper and I think was it Peter Fonda? Is that who's in this? Yeah, Peter Fonda, Dennis Hopper, and Jack Nicholson, of course. Really good movie. It's just an American classic, kind of set in the late '60s. And they're literally just kind of cruising the U.S. But it's awesome. It looks pretty awesome in 4K as well. This one was also a foreign release, so we didn't get that one here in the United States. But I wouldn't be surprised if they do that at some point. Release a U.S. copy of it. It's a great movie, and again, it's very well known. All right, guys, that is all I have for you today. Again, I just kind of want to show off a few of my more obscure 4K titles. Hope you enjoyed the video. If so, just throw me a like, and hope you guys have a good one. Thank you. Bye-bye.